Every time we take up the creation of videos with such a theme, we think that this time we are unlikely to find something really unusual. In the end, someday these most amazing things in the universe must end. But the world surprises us over and over again, and we, in turn, want to share the finds with you. So, get comfortable. It will be interesting. Quantum stealth. The invisibility cloak is one of the most desirable fairy tale objects in real life. Well, every one of us has dreamed of hiding in a magic matter, making his way unnoticed somewhere, or, conversely, leaving the room without paying attention to himself. And the Canadian company Hyperstealth Biotechnology claims that it has created a technology to translate this fabulous invention into reality. Quantum stealth technology allows you to create panels that hide people and objects. They reproduce the surroundings that are behind, visually merging with it. Moreover, an object hidden in this way will also be impossible to detect with the help of thermal and infrared devices. According to the head of Hyperstealth Biotechnology, quantum stealth technology can be used in the military. After all, an invisible soldier is an almost invulnerable soldier. For safety reasons, Hyperstealth Biotechnology has not yet shown quantum stealth in public. She limited herself to issuing a press release containing photos and videos of using her technology in work. Luminous Stones on the shore of Lake Superior in North America. In the summer of 2018, Eric Rintamaki searched for stones on Michigan's beach. Among the pebbles covering the shore of Lake Superior, Rintamaki saw a flaming stone. The owner of the gems told CBS News that he often goes hunting for stones, but on that particular June night, he discovered a stone different from any other, a fluorescent ball which he later called Uperlite. Like lava, blazing cracks on the ground, light seeped from the lines in a small stone. Rintamaki knew that this might not be the only one Uperlite, but he could not find any information about luminous stones on the internet. He asked a lot of people specializing in minerals, but no one knew what kind of mysterious stones were. Rintamaki returned to the beach night after night, illuminating the shore with an ultraviolet lamp that helped him find luminous stones. He began collecting Juperlites and selling them online. Michigan State University bought minerals from Rintamaki for study. The state of Michigan, together with the University of Saskatchewan, studied the Juperlites for several months. Universities have determined that Rintamaki has indeed discovered a new type of mineral, scientific name, cyanite clusters containing fluorescent sodalite. Flexible Sculptures by Lee Hongbo. Book editor and designer Lee Hongbo creates marvelous sculptures using plain brown paper. Thousands and thousands of sheets are glued, cut, and superimposed. After that, the sculptor's usual tools come into play, with the help of which the layers are given the necessary shape. The result is unusual, and most importantly, stretching busts. This is achieved using a special ancient Chinese technology that was used to create the famous Chinese lanterns. Lee Hongbo developed this technique by slightly changing the method and achieved such an unusual effect. The artist took as a basis the technique of creating balls, thin paper glued together in the form of bee honeycombs, thus building up the layers an accordion of absolutely any length is obtained. The author does not disclose the nuances of his own developments. It is only known that Lee Hongbo uses special rubber glue to create a similar texture. A detailed study of the characteristics of paper, its texture and properties, found the artist while working as an editor. Even then, he came up with his first toy, a gun. It would seem a formidable murder weapon, but after a moment in your hands, an elegant ornament appears. Over time, the usual hobby grew into a lifelong affair, which brought the author extraordinary popularity. Sheep vodka. Calm down, not a single sheep was harmed in the process of making this vodka. For the manufacturers of sheep vodka, sheep cheese is used, or preferably whey, which is obtained during the production of cheese. The idea was brought to life by a 35-year-old Australian farmer, Ryan Hartshorn. Experimentally, he found the necessary enzymes for the production of alcohol. Now he has the award the best vodka in the world among experts of the Vodka Award. And in the best alcohol category of Australia, he has no equal at all. This product is made in Tasmania's ecologically perfect natural environment. According to a unique recipe for his own invention, even the bottles are painted and painted by hand. It turns out completely exclusive. Price? Yes, only $90. This guy now has a profit of $350,000 with this new product. They also produce other delicacies such as sheep's milk, ice cream, Pinot paste, and smoked lamb. Rabid Island. Okunoshima Island, covering an area of 0.7 kilometers squared, is located in the inland sea of Japan, near Takehara. In the past, 3 fishing families lived here, but by the end of the 19th century, the military paid attention to its important strategic position. On the island and around it, 10 forts were builded, and in 1929, a chemical weapons production plant began operating in Okunoshima. The developments were so secret that Japan removed the island from all their maps. At the end of the Second World War, all documents related to the activities of the plant were burned, and the remaining gas reserves were destroyed. The island has not been a secret for a long time. You can freely come here by ferry from the nearest settlements. Only those traveling with pets, cats, or dogs are forbidden. The fact is that the main inhabitants of Okunoshima are rabbits. According to a 2007 data, there were about 300 of them, and today the number has exceeded 1,000. At the same time, no one knows how the rabbits ended up on the island. According to the most popular version, these are the descendants of experimental animals that used gas during the war. However, the military assures that after the closure of the chemical plant, all surviving animals were euthanized. Some people think that a couple of the first rabbits were brought in by tourists, or they were released by schoolchildren who were here on an excursion. One way or another, the origin of the rabbits has not been reliably established. Life on the plane. A former American engineer and now retired, Bruce Campbell bought a decommissioned Boeing 727-400 in Greece in 2003, transported it to a forest near Portland, Oregon, and turned the ship's interior into a residential building. The aircraft, with a useful area of about 350 square meters, was installed by a 68-year-old engineer on his site with an area of 4 hectares and fixed on wooden poles. It took him 10 years and about $220,000 for all the transformations. 68-year-old Campbell was never married and has no children. Others necessary benefits of civilization he can ignore. Campbell sleeps on a folding sofa, shower, a huge sheet of white PVC rolled up into a cylinder, fastened with clothespins so that it does not unfold. Campbell's food is stocked up once every 2 months, buying everything he needs at once. Recently, he decided to buy also a summer residence. Campbell likes Japan. He has been there several times. The engineer wants to buy a piece of land there, buy another decommissioned plane, and make himself a foreign house. 1,000 cats. This wonderful woman is called Linnea Latanizo. She lives in the USA in a house in which she has sheltered more than 1,000 cats. The 67-year-old American possesses 6 acres of land. This large and friendly family settled in a 5-room house, and all its inhabitants feel great. They are loved, fed, and not condemned to death. After becoming a veterinarian in 1993, Linnea Latanizo began to fight for lower prices for medicines for animals. For more than 20 years, about 28,000 cats lived in the house of the compassionate American, whom she picked up on the street, nursed, and then arranged for new families. For the first 7 years, Linnea Latanizo had no financial support to support a large number of cats. Then she had to sell the wedding ring and her house. Currently, she is assisted by volunteers who monitor their health and feed about 1,100 cats. The main goal for her, as at the beginning, remains a great desire to attach animals in good hands. In the meantime, a new family for the cats was not found. This kind woman takes them to her home. Ice tools. Ice sculptor Tim Leinhardt has been creating ice sculptures for over 30 years. At some point, he had the idea to combine seemingly incompatible things, such as ice, sculpture, and music. So the first ice musical instruments appeared. A project was born which Tim calls ice music. He creates tools in the backyard of his house in the city of Luleå in northeastern Sweden. Cuts violins, double bass, banjo, guitar, mandolin, xylophone, and drum kit from ice. Tim had to create larger instruments, such as an ice harp and an ice organ, for a concert at the Ice Hotel. Tim considers the tools of his own invention to be the most difficult to manufacture. This is graviton with 37 strings, which took 2.2 tons of ice to make and a massive steel frame to support. And rolandophone is a percussion instrument similar to a giant pan flute. Similar ice tools you will not meet anywhere else. Creating ice tools, Tim combines white ice from snow and water with clear ice. The only glue Tim uses to connect parts is water. Non-icy parts of the instruments are only wooden vultures and metal strings. Ice musical instruments are striking in their ethereal transparency. In addition, Tim often introduces colored LEDs into the tools, which further enhances the impression of their unusual appearance. And what was the most amazing thing you've seen? Share in the comments, like, and subscribe to the channel. New video tomorrow. Thanks.